Show you guys how to make this roasted honey nut squash with red onion. It is the perfect side dish for any fall dish, but also for Thanksgiving. It's a crowd pleaser. Everyone will love it. It's so good. If you don't know honey nut, it's a sweeter version of butternut. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it.
Nut squashes are so good. I discovered them last year and I'm obsessed with them. They are a smaller, see how little they are, version of a butternut squash, but they taste so much sweeter. Like once you try it, you will love it. So anyway, I'm going to roast these up just like I would a butternut squash with some red onion. I have the recipe on my website, so you can use honey nut squash. They're smaller, so what I do is I tend to roast 2 at a time to make up for 1. But first of all, you just want to cut off the top and bottom like you would a regular butternut squash, and then you just peel them. So you just literally peel them just like you would a butternut squash. Then you're going to cut it like you would a regular butternut squash. You're going to cut it at the neck, see, like this. Look how bright. Oh, it's such a vibrant orange. And then you're going to cut this in half and you're going to scoop out the seeds. Now you can roast the seeds if you want. I'm not going to tonight because I just don't. I'm using the ovens for other things. I'm going to do some Brussels sprouts too. So I ain't going to be roasting these seeds today. So anyway, you're just going to scoop out the seeds. You can use whatever you want. I have a melon baller that I like to use. It's just easier, but you can use a spoon. Okay, you're just gonna cut it up like you would a butternut squash. So you wanna make them kind of even in size, just the pieces, because then they all kind of roast at the same time. So again, I took the bottom part and I'm just cutting it. I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason unless you're in a knife skills class, which, yeah, I did not like that in Natural Chef School. But, and then these ones, I'm just gonna like cut, don't follow me on knife skills, guys. I'm just showing you real life, when you get a knife, like there's a technique that you have to do in a chef school, and there's a technique that you do when you're just a mom who's cooking for a family. So I'm going to put these in. I'm going to cut up the rest. So I put that all in this bowl. So you guys, this is kind of like alive. I'm doing this right now, whether you know it or not. And, I'm just editing it as I go. Wow. So anyway, I'm going to do the red onion. And what I'm going to do is just cut the red onion in half. This is easy because you're not going crazy with the red onion. This is going to just be, you're just going to cut this red onion and watch this. You don't really have to peel it because I'm just going to cut it in these little, see this? And then it just peels right off. So I'm just going to cut the red onion, I don't know. It adds so much flavor mixed in with all. Here they all are in the bowl together. So, and I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, rimmed baking sheet, and I melted a tablespoon of coconut oil. That's what we're gonna use for the heat, and the coconut oil brings out the sweetness. It's really good. And then I have some Celtic sea salt, and I'm just gonna take a handful of that, and then I'm just gonna mix this around in the bowl. The reason I do this is because all the oil, if it gets onto here, you want to pull out the vegetables and put them onto the baking sheet because otherwise they'll be too oily and they might, steam. So I'm going to put these all together and I'm going to roast these in a preheated, which my oven is preheated now, 450 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes. It could be 25 minutes. It just depends on how big you do the pieces until the squash is fork tender. Even if it gets a little bit overcooked, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, here's what the squash and the red onion looks like. It smells amazing. I make this for Thanksgiving every year. I do a double batch, 2 of these baking sheets, and then I do them earlier, and then I warm them up. They're so good. It's a crowd pleaser. So honey nut squash. You could use butternut if you can't find honey nut with the red onion. It's so good, and it smells amazing, and I can't wait.